Well, friends, another Friday, another album. I'm excited. Frank Ocean, Blonde. This one's come up quite a bit, and it's been an interesting suggestion because not only has it come up quite a bit, but there's also been some debate in the comments about whether or not I'm going to like this album. It's been fun for me watching you guys kind of go back and forth on, nah, he's not really going to get into it, or no, he might like it because of this and that or the other. So it's fun. It's fun for me to see you guys kind of get into tune with what I'm into. But then I like the fact that this will be a challenge, most likely because when it comes to R&B, from what I understand, this is more of an R&B style album, and I've never been into R&B. Coming from kind of a full disclosure point of view, I've always felt R&B was disingenuous, I guess, to put it in a nice way. I hear these artists and they're singing these songs about how they love this person so much and they just can't live without them and they're the only one for me. And then 2 tracks later, it's fuck that bitch, she ain't shit to me, blah, 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 bagged all these other hoes, And I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm saying that coming from an outsider perspective, somebody who's never taken the time to actually listen to the music, that's what I always heard. And so I look forward to this to push that misconception out of my brain. And as far as the music goes, with it being slower, there's a lot of stuff I listen to that is slower. I love ambient. I made a video on ambient talking about it a little bit. There's other bands. There's a band called Daughter out of the UK. I think they're broken up now, but really slow, dark, kind of angsty, moody lyrics and tones. London Grammar is another one that I like. I don't like all their stuff, but their slower stuff I like. Who else is just really chill? I don't know. There's some bands I listen to that are pretty chill. I'm not always just thrashing around with my rock and my metal. I try and keep a variety in my life. But Frank Ocean, Blonde. It's interesting to me already that it's an hour-long album with 17 tracks. So that's kind of cool. There's some long ones. There's some short ones. Yeah. So I'd love to just keep talking. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to say. Now that I have a Patreon page, and I know, while recording this, there's going to be a place that exists where I can put this entire video up, and it will exist and stay up and not get blocked by YouTube. I'm going to go back a little bit to probably a little bit longer format of videos, spending some more time on the songs, on the lyrics. I need to practice backing up the music. A couple of people commented, I pause in between typically the verses and the chorus, but that's usually when there's a drop. So I want to get a little better. I want to keep refining my craft in terms of actually making videos because I want this to be entertaining. I want it to be good so you guys enjoy yourselves. And now that I know if I make a full video, it won't get blocked at least somewhere, I'm more interested to put the effort back into it rather than trying to maybe simplify it so that when I have to edit it, I'm not cutting out work. It sucks to have a discussion about something or we're talking about something and think later, well, fuck, I just have to edit it out anyway. Okay. Anyway, all that talking. Frank Ocean, to my knowledge, I've never heard this guy at all before. Blonde. I'm expecting this to be a challenge. I'm going to let the brain do what it does. And here we go. Here is track 1, Nike's Frank Ocean. Okay. Definitely slower. I have to just tell myself to calm down. I'm liking that kind of like higher level, echoey kind of sound.
These bitches want Nike. They looking for a check. Tell them it ain't likely. Said she need a ring like Carmelo.
Interesting. Very interesting. I'm pausing early already. The first thing that's coming to my mind as far as lyrics is that he kind of reminds me of some Radiohead songs where he's just got this weird, I don't know what you would call that, filter over his voice, but there are Radiohead songs that they kind of have the same thing going on with the vocals. All right, let me practice backing this shit up just so I'm not.
You must be on that white like Othello. All you want is Nikes, but the real ones. I can't buy and my little cousin, he got a little tray.
I like that. I like that. Woo, fucking buzzing. And that puts an interesting tone into the song. You know, at first I was thinking he's just kind of talking about women and how they just want stuff. But then when you get down there, he starts talking about some of his buddies who have passed, and then woo, fucking buzzing. It puts a different spin on the track, like he's just kind of chilling on the couch, having a couple drinks, just thinking about random stuff. Maybe he's thinking about relationships that didn't really work out that well, because it's like, God, these bitches, they just want money. They don't really want me. And he's thinking about his friends, blah, blah, blah. And then he just has that kind of self-reflective moment where it's like, man, I am fucking buzzing. I like that. I like that little part. Let me back it up again. I want to hear it again. Oh my God. Girl, keep the scales, a little mermaid. We out by the pool, some little mermaids. Me and them gel, like twigs with the bangs. We have good discussion. I met his friends last week. Nice little change up there.
You guys prophesy.
I'll pause it here. These lyrics are really interesting. There's a lot of little things going on here. I don't understand the mermaids thing here. Let's see what this says. Possible reference. Just talking about hairstyle, maybe. Huh. Now that's a real mermaid. Huh. I'm going to stick to my initial impression here, where he's just kind of in a reflective mood right now. I picture him just hanging out by himself, just kind of drinking. He don't care for me, but he cares for me. Frank's drug-dealing cousin's girlfriend resigned to the fact that her boyfriend isn't really invested in a relationship, is content that he takes care of her. Oh, he don't care for me, but he takes care of her in that sense. And that's good enough. Interesting. That's really interesting. We don't talk much of nothing, but when we talk about something, we have good discussion. Huh. Met his friends last week. Feels like they're up to something that's good for us. These lines portray the shallowness of relationship in today's society. Huh. This is an interesting opening track. This is challenging in the sense of, well, mostly the lyrics. I like the sound. I like the mellow tone. I like the sound. It is really, really chill. And I can get into that if I just calm down. Just calm down and listen. I can get into it. All right, let's keep going on. This is an interesting opening track.
We'll let you guys prophesy. We'll let you guys prophesy. We gon' see the future first. When you're not here, I'll save some for you. I'm not him, but I mean something to you. I mean something to you. I mean something to you. It's only awkward if you're fucking too.
I like that he picks up the beat right at the end there. That's cool. Just kind of close it out. Huh. Well, that was a great opening track in terms of setting the tone. I feel like going through the rest of this album, I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of long sessions where I'm just listening. I just based off of this opening track, I feel like that's probably the best way to try and digest this album. This is a neat song. It's really melancholy, you know, like I feel like somebody's just trying to reach for some sort of happiness, something that's meaningful. And there's a lot of mentions in here about things that aren't, you know, really real in terms of the relationships and the connections that people are having. This last bit here, I may be younger, but I'll look after you. We're not in love, but I'll make love to you. When you're not here, I'll save some for you. I'm not him, but I'll mean something to you. It's interesting. There's just like, it's like, I don't want to call it a love triangle. I feel like that's too basic. It's like almost like a spiritual or emotional web between people. Whereas there's just these mild connections that aren't materializing into anything that's substantial, what the person wants it to be. I feel like this track, this has got 200 million listens. I feel like this track can probably connect with a lot of people in that sense because it gives you that feeling of longing. You know, you have this feeling of, I have something, but it's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I really want. The emotion is not as deep as I want it to be. The connections aren't as real as I want them to be. You know, the track opens up with him talking about the materialism of some of these women and what they want, but I think it goes beyond that. It's just, there's this just kind of dull ache. You know, I just, something's missing, but I don't know what. You know, that's what I get from that track. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go. Track 2, this is called Ivy. Almost 400 million listens. Jesus, this album has a shit ton of listens. Nice. Okay. Track 2, Ivy.
I thought that I was dreaming when you said you loved me. The start of nothing. I had no chance to prepare. I couldn't see you coming. The start of nothing. Ooh, I could hate you now. It's quite alright to hate me now. When we both know that deep down, the feeling still deep down is good.
I'm another big fan. This is an artist I did not mention at the beginning of the video, Fiona Apple. I love Fiona Apple. I think she's a fantastic writer, great singer, slays on the piano in both slow and fast sections. But I already think about Fiona Apple just hearing this opening chorus here. This is a great opening line here. I thought I was dreaming when you said you love me. And I like these mentions, the start of nothing, the start of nothing. I could hate you right now. It's all right if you hate me now. But we both know deep down, the feeling deep down is good. There's a Fiona Apple song called Parting Gift. I think of that one. Well, not Parting Gift. Parting Gift is a great one too. What's the other one? The last track off of Win the Pawn. It escapes me right now. Okay, let's back up. Let's keep going. Sorry. A jabber. A jabber and a jabber and a jabber.
We both know that deep down, the feeling still deep down is good. If I could see through walls, I could see it faking. If you could see my thoughts, you would see your faces. Safe in my rental, like an army truck back then. We didn't give a fuck back then. I ain't a kid no more. But we both know that deep down, the feeling still deep down is good.
This is another jam, just like the first one, where you can just feel the melancholy. Just a hollow relationship, if that makes any sense. Just It's like, well, you know, he does mention how we were kids back then, and so he knows this person from before. Everything sucked back then. We were friends. I wonder if that means he wanted to be with her beforehand. Waves or draw parallels. I don't want to. That's one thing. I like reading the annotations, but I don't want to do it in the video because that's just really drags things out. It's boring for you guys. I should try and stick to my own initial impressions instead of reading what they say. If I could see through walls, I could see you're faking. So she has a wall up. She's faking, but he can't tell because he can't see through that wall. If you could see my thoughts, you would see your face is safe in my rental like an armored truck. Didn't give a fuck back then. We'll never be those kids again. So they used to be friends, and now she's caught him off guard. She's told him he loves him, or she loves him. It's the start of nothing, the start of nothing. Interesting. We both know that deep down the feeling is still deep down is good. This guy's doing a great job of just creating ache, both in the lyrics, the way he's singing, in the music. The singing really is striking me mostly because it's not really full of emotion. It's kind of dull and almost numb, if that makes sense, like a numb voice. Let's keep going. This is neat. This is interesting. Back it up a little bit.
Alright to hate me now, but we both know that deep down the feeling still deep down is good. In the halls of your hotel, arm around my shoulder so I can tell how much I meant to you, meant to sincere back then. We had time to kill back then. You ain't a kid no more. All the things I didn't mean to say, I didn't mean to do. There were things you didn't need to say. Did you mean to? Mean to?
Interesting change there. Really interesting change there. I really like that closing section. I'm going to talk about the closing section while it's still fresh in my mind, and I'll talk about some other stuff. I've been dreaming of you. I've been dreaming of you. That section where he's really screaming it. To me, that means he's fucking frustrated. He doesn't want to dream about this person anymore. The relationship's over. It's over. They've split. To me, they've gone their own ways here. You know, he did all these things he didn't mean. He said all these things he didn't mean to. She said some things. Did she mean them? I've been dreaming of you. And he's screaming about it like he's fucking furious. He's still dreaming about her. He doesn't want to dream about her. And then that little section of sound at the end. It's not music. It's just some sound effects. To me, I take that he's waking up. He's fucking pissed. God damn it. Dreaming about her again. I don't want to dream about her again. He's frustrated. He's sick of it. Just get out of my head. This is a neat track too, man. I like this whole... I thought I was dreaming when you said you loved me. The start of nothing. Had no chance to prepare. Couldn't see you coming. We started from nothing. So it's like she just really caught him off guard. I wonder if he's worried about, a friendship being destroyed because of a relationship. Doomed from the start, yeah. I broke your heart last week. You'll probably feel better by the weekend. That's an interesting line too, because to me it means she didn't really care about him that much. It reinforces that idea, which he already seems to know, because it's the start of nothing. And so she's upset, but she's already over it in a couple of days because she's already over him. She doesn't really care about him. Screaming my name, the feeling deep down is good. It's almost like she just wants to take it out on him. Doesn't really care about the relationship, but just having a punching bag. Huh. This is a neat song. A great sound, too. The sound in the vocals are really matching the tone of the lyrics and what he's talking about. Yeah, this is neat. This is pretty cool jam. I think... Well, yeah, we'll keep going. That was cool. Okay, track 3 is called Pink and White. Pharrell Williams produced it. Okay. Oh, uncredited backing vocals from Beyonce. Yeah, all right. Track 3, Pink and White.
Yeah. That's the way every day goes. Every time we've no control. If the sky is pink and white, if the ground is black and yellow, it's the same way you showed me. You showed me love. Glory from above, regardless, dear. It's all downhill from here.
I wanted to pause earlier in the first verse to mention that these lyrics to me are pretty esoteric. I don't know exactly what he's talking about, which can sometimes be very fun because it leaves it very open for us, everybody who's listening. We can hear this song and when it doesn't mean anything specific, we can apply it to different little spots in our lives, which gives the song more meaning. It makes it more personal in a strange way, because when it's non-specific, it almost becomes more specific. I want to talk about the first verse, but I'm really just kind of lost on that one. Nod my head, don't close. I guess I'm going to do it anyway. Halfway on a slow move. It's the same way you showed me. It's the same way you showed me. If the sky's big one. Huh. But what I really like is in this chorus, this final line, it's all downhill from here. So he's singing a little bit more on this track. The music's a little bit more, I don't want to say playful, but upbeat. It's a little bit more present. It's not so dulled and achy. It's got a little bit more vibrance to it. But this final line in the chorus, it's all downhill from here. It's like this is the happy phase of this relationship with this person. And so now I'm curious to see, as we progress into verse 2, how much does it go downhill? And I'm curious to see if his music will change with it.
It's all downhill from here. In the wake of a hurricane, dark skin of a summer shade.
Cool little change with the beat there, little drums.
It's the same way you showed me. Glory from above, regardless, dear. It's all downhill from here. Real life.
I like this bit about, here we go. It's the same way you showed me. Cannonball off the porch side. All the kids trying off the roofs, just the way you showed me. I assume he's talking about jumping into swimming pools. The older kids always want to jump off the roof because they're getting more crazy, and the younger kids are too scared to try it. This really struck me, but I don't get it. I'm really looking forward to listening to this album over and over again already, because I feel like I'm going to be able to sift through layers when it comes to these lyrics. If you could die and come back to life, up for air from the swimming pool, you'd kneel down to the dry land, kiss the earth that birthed you. Gave you tools just to stay alive and make it out when the sun is ruined. Very interesting. Very interesting. I liked in that second verse too how they added some of the little hand drums. Fuck, man, I gotta learn my instruments. This is embarrassing. Gotta learn some instrument names. Back it up.
It's all downhill.
It's all downhill from here.
Real life. Remember how it was. fancy. All in shit. Say what up to ready. Like immortality. This is life, immortality.
I really like that closing section. I really noticed the piano there, and the piano's got this nice little just basic beat going. Very easy to enjoy. Beyonce's floating vocals back there. It gives this whole outro a very reflective memorial style of sound. Remember Live How It Was when you're climbing trees, Michael Jackson, but it all ends here, saying what up to Matthew, Shub, Danny. I don't know if those are people who have passed or just friends that he's no longer friends anymore with. Bending up my Nikes, stealing grandma's cigs, give me something sweet. Interesting track. That one's cool. I kind of, I like Nikes and Ivy. I really like Pink and White though. So for now, we'll put this to the side. We'll say Pink and White as of now. That's probably my favorite off the album. Now, of course, we've got 14 more to go through, so we won't call it too soon. But that's in the running. That's a cool little jam. It's a really cool little jam. And the lyrics are very esoteric. There's all kinds of hidden meaning in there. I'm not going to sit here and read all the annotations. And honestly, in a way, I don't want to right now. I want to listen to it myself and see what lifts out on its own. Okay, track 4 is Be Yourself.
Many college students have gone to college and gotten hooked on drugs, marijuana, and alcohol. Listen, stop trying to be somebody else. Don't try to be someone else. They become sluggish, lazy, stupid, and unconcerned. Sluggish, lazy, stupid, and unconcerned. That's all marijuana does to you. Okay? This is Mom. Unless you're taking it under doctor's control, then it's regulated. Do not smoke marijuana. Do not consume alcohol. Do not get in the car with someone who is inebriated. This is Mom. Call me. Bye.
So, a lot of things I want to talk about on this one. I really fully agree with the opening section. Be yourself. Trust yourself. Don't try and be someone else. Be who you are, which is a challenge because that means, in my opinion, being who you are means you have to be all of the things that you are. You have to own them, which means the flaws as well. You must own your flaws and understand that your flaws are a part of you. And that's hard. It's hard, especially if you've got some serious flaws, and it's hard to reflect on those and look at those and go, shit, that's me. I don't want to be that. But if you are, you are. That's part of who you are. I mean, look at someone like Kanye. That fucking guy, man, he puts it all on his sleeve. All on his sleeve. And I think he's made amazing music because of it. And we have got to enjoy some amazing rides because of it. In this second half, I remember talking about in Whole Lotta Red how these guys are just doing drugs and doing drugs and doing drugs. And like, you can't do that shit. If you want to smoke a little bit of weed, be my guest. I'm all for it. I tell people, I don't know why. It rarely comes up, but just don't do shit like heroin where the addiction value is so high it sucks you in and just destroys you. I saw so many rock stars die because of heroin. Some of my favorite artists dying because of heroin. Fucking awful. And this whole part, don't get in the car with somebody who's inebriated. This is Mom, Call Me By. Mom sounds fucking hammered. I wonder if that's the point. I wonder if that's what this whole skit is about. It's like she's going on this rant about don't do drugs and do all this other shit. I wonder if Mom's just straight up tripping and freaks out like on some sort of, some people get paranoid when they smoke. She's fucking freaking out, calling him, don't do drugs, don't do all this shit. It's like, you're high right now. Anyway, that was kind of fun. Let's move on to track 5, which is Solo.
Hand me a towel, I'm dirty dancing by myself, gone off tabs of that acid. Form me a circle, watch my Jagger. Might lose my jacket and hit a solo one time. We too loud in public, them police turned down a function. Now we outside and the time is perfect. Forgot to tell you, gotta tell you how much I vibe with you. Solo. Solo. It's hell on earth in the city.
I love the simplicity in the sound in this. Just a little tiny bit of music and him singing. This is great. And I am under the impression he has not followed his mother's advice. His eyes are red like them lights. He's been smoking. Or maybe it's just the acid. I don't know. I've never done acid. I don't really have any intention to do acid. Someday, I keep telling my wife, when I retire and I'm older, I'm going to do a lot of fucking psilocybin. And she laughs like I'm joking. And then I stare at her going, I'm not joking. I'm going to do some fucking shrooms. I'm going to tear open my third eye. I'm going to pierce the veil. I'm going to see what is really out there. I'm very interested in doing that. But I can't right now. And that's okay. That's okay. All in due time. This is a cool little opening verse. You know, he's sitting down at the club and having fun. And the police... Well, actually, I don't know if it's at the club. Doesn't necessarily specify the club. But, you know, it sounds like the party got a little loud. Police showed up. All right, gonna get the fuck out of here. Take off. Avoid the highways because I'm high. But I'm loving the simplicity of the sound. This is great. Nice and easy. So far, this has been a very easy album to listen to.
Solo.
And I like that I'm really kind of hearing his voice in this track.
It's hell on earth and the city's on fire. In hell, there's heaven. There's a bull in a matador dueling in the sky. In hell, there's heaven. Even love ain't, cause it's not cost. That clinic killed my soul. But you gotta hit the pussy raw though. Now your baby mama ain't so vicious. All she want is her picket fence and you protest and you pick a sign, but them courts won't side with you. Won't let you fly solo. I wanted that act right in Colorado that night. I brought trees to blow through, but it's just me and no you. Stayed up till my phone died. Smoking big, rolling.
So, a couple of things come to mind. First of all, he keeps saying solo, which he is. He's by himself. I'm wondering if there's a double meaning woven in here. He's solo, and he's also so low. I don't really know if I buy into that or not. It's just something that kind of popped into my head. He's talking about in hell there's heaven. He's got these issues that he's talking about, the baby mama, and the courts won't fucking listen to him, and he's by himself, and there's been some stuff going on here in his life, clearly. And so I'm wondering if he's just it's a duality. He's happy to be alone and just kind of chilling by himself. It's like he's happy to have some time by himself to process some thoughts and just unwind and try and figure out what he's doing. Trying to sort out these struggles that are happening in his life. And so in that sense, he's happy to be alone. But because of these struggles, I wonder if he's feeling low. And so he's inhaling to find a little bit of heaven here in hell. Because he's kind of in hell. He's going through this bullshit. So he's smoking to help take the edge off a little. And then with the music, with it just being that simple little, I don't know if it's a keyboard or it's not really an organ. That's not loud enough for an organ, but basically just it represents musically solo. There's no other instruments that are playing, and I can kind of just picture a guy again just chilling on the couch. He's got his smoke there, and he's just kind of chilling just kind of playing around on the keyboard, just doing some sound, making some sound while he's letting his thoughts kind of unwind. And it's almost like a therapeutic thing. You know, my wife likes to garden, and there's been all these studies that show, you know, if you work with your hands in the soil for, you know, however much time, whatever, there's therapeutic value in it. I think it exists in music too. I think if you play an instrument, which I don't, but if you play an instrument and you've got just these feelings, these emotions that are stirring around, and you can't quite sort them, and you pick up a guitar and you kind of just start strumming while your thought process is doing whatever it's doing, and your hands aren't really doing anything specific. You're just strumming, or maybe you're playing a keyboard and you're just kind of walking your fingers around as your mind meanders through what's happening in your life. I feel there's therapeutic value in that. So this is a neat song. I kind of like this one a lot too. This one's got 140 million listens. That's a cool little jam. Solo. It's neat. All right, let's move on. Track 6 is Skyline To.
This is joy, this is summer. Keep alive. Stay alive.
I really like that this guy is singing. I really like that. That's something I've missed.
Got your medal on. We're alone. Making sweet love, taking time. Look, God strikes us. That's a pretty fucking fast year flew by. We smell of Californication. Everything grows in the Congo. Ooh, everything grows. Can you come when I call again?
I really like the subtle music that's just existing in the background here. He's talking about the deer runs across, kills the headlights. I'm wondering, okay, it's a pretty long third gear in this car, which I like because I drive a stick shift and I like longer gears, especially third because you can really get some pull out of your third gear. The year went by fast. He's driving. I wonder, did they hit a deer in the car? Oh, they kill the headlights so that they don't hit the deer. Okay, because I thought, oh shit, maybe they hit the deer and then they crash, and so now they're underneath the moonlight and then they're kind of passing out, wake up, and then it's sunlight in their eyes. But in comes the morning. So they're just driving all night. In comes the morning, haunting us with beams. Solstice ain't as far as it seems. Summer's not as long as it used to be. It's almost like they're just trying to chase down the last bits of summer here. They're really trying to chase down whatever this time is that they have together. They're enjoying themselves. It's summer. Summer in California is so beautiful, especially if you're on the coast, man. God, it's great. And just trying to soak in as much time is left in this period that they have together. But he's noticing it's going by fast. This is going by so fast. This is joy. This is summer. Keep it alive. Stay alive. Keep that summer alive. Keep it going. Okay, interesting. Let's back it up a little bit. We'll finish out this verse here. This second verse.
Come when I call again.
Great little subtle tones that are being used here. I don't know how many of you have been to the Pacific Coast, but I'm picturing, just kind of hanging out. Somebody driving on PCH on the hillside, and the sun's coming up. You see the ocean.
On comes the evening, gold seeking ends, peace in my hand, worth twice than a friend. In comes the morning.
These are cool jams so far. Really cool jams. I was thinking with that really, really subtle guitar strum, it was almost making me think about morning dew that exists, like on the plants in the morning before the sun comes up and the, you know, everything kind of evaporates off. On comes the evening, gold seeking ends. Sunsets on the beach, man, over the Pacific Ocean. Sometimes they're so beautiful. I've been to the East Coast a couple times, and it's fucking weird. Like, what do you mean the sun doesn't set in the ocean? That's not how it works. The universe is broken over here. I don't have a whole lot to say about that track. It's super chill, man. This is cool. I'm enjoying this album. It is super chill. Really, really great sound, though. Really good use of subtle sound so far. Okay, track 7 is called Self-Control.
Poolside convo about your summer last night. Ooh, about your summer last night. I give you no play. Could I make it shy last night? Could I make it shy on the last
Nice.
night?
I'm liking the little guitar lick here.
Do we have time?
I'll be the boyfriend in your wet dreams tonight. Noses on a rail, little virgin, where's the white?
It's nothing, it's nothing. Keep a place for me,
Now and then.
I love how that second guitar came in, too, in the background to overlay with the first one. That's really cool. This chorus is interesting to me. Keep a place for me. I'll sleep between you all. It's nothing. Keep a place for me. What does that mean? Asking his past lover to remember him in the relationship. Oh, even with a new person. Oh, that makes sense. That's kind of interesting. Think about me when you're with somebody else. Okay. I mean, why? Why though? You know, if you're not with that person, maybe he's still in love with her. I'll make that assumption. Maybe he's still in love with her, even though she's moved on, and so he's hoping maybe she's thinking about him. Great little guitar lick that's going on in this song. I really like it. You guys, I mean, we're kind of getting back to my side of the house now with singing, with guitar. This is really cool. And again, he's using such a great use of minimal sound. Just great voice. Great singing, little bit of guitar in there to kind of keep a nice beat to sing to, and it's just fucking, this is killer. Poolside convo about your summer last night. Ain't give you no play. Could I make you shy? Could I make you shine the last night? So I wonder if this is him thinking about the girl that has now moved on with this other person. Honestly, I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics because I was enjoying the music so much, even though there's not a whole lot there, but I love it. You cut your hair, so well, let's keep going. I want to analyze it, but it's a little too early, I think. We'll back it up some.
It's nothing. Keep a place for me.
Now and then you miss it. Sounds make you cry. Some nights you dance with tears in your eyes. And you made me lose my self-control. My self-control. Keep a place for me.
This is great. I really enjoy this. Nice pickup and sound there.
Between y'all, it's nothing. Keep a place for me.
He's really thinking about this girl.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's really tough because I want to just keep listening. Like I don't want to stop and talk about this. I like the second verse though. Sounds make you cry. Some nights you dance with tears in your eye. I came to visit because you see me like a UFO. That's like never. So you never see me. I made you lose your self-control and I made you use your self-control. You made me lose my self-control. So I wonder my assumption is going to be here that maybe she's got him so hot and bothered. You know, if you kind of tie that back into the opening here, he's trying to get her to do this thing on the last summer night. And I wonder if he was just trying to get with her and she basically had to tell him no. And so then she left. And so he got all hot and bothered by her. And she had to use her self-control to make it stop. And now she won't come and see him anymore. Won't visit. She only sees him like a UFO, which is never. And so maybe she was already with this boyfriend. I'll be the boyfriend in your wet dreams tonight. I wonder if she's in another relationship. I don't want to click the annotation. This is fun. This is so fun trying to just interpret what he's put out here for music. This bridge here was a trip because I didn't realize that was part of the lyrics, that weird sound. It almost sounded like some of the rock guys, they'll use their guitar to sing. They've got this like weird microphone thing. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they do it. It's an effect that happens sometimes. Let's back it up. So I didn't realize that was actually him singing through the sound. This part. I didn't realize that was actually lyrical content. All right, I'm gonna let this run out here, this last minute or so.
You gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night. Give up just a night.
So without this outro here, it really does kind of wrap up the theme of the song of he's trying to get with this girl. She can't stay. She's got a boyfriend. Well, I'm assuming she has a boyfriend. That's the interpretation I'm getting, the impression I'm getting. And he's talking about take down some summertime. I know you've got to leave. Take down some summertime. Give up. I wonder if... I don't really understand that line. I'm not going to read. The annotation is for this whole outro. I don't want to read it right now. Cool jam. I like that one quite a bit. Self-control is really cool. I like the mellow tones, just the simple guitar licks that are happening. And then it builds up at the end to kind of, I think really try and reinforce how much he's feeling for her. He wants her really bad, and it's hard. I know you got to leave. Give up just tonight. He really wants her to stay. Don't use your self-control. You've made me lose my self-control. Don't leave. Anyway, okay, that was cool. That's a good jam. I like that one. All right, track 8 is Good Guy.
It's a good guy, he hooked it up. Said if I was an NY, I should look you up. Better much more than some nice shit. I know you don't need me right now. And to you, it's just a late night out.
It's just nigga, all the bitches in the neighborhood want to fuck this nigga. You told me. Thanks to fuck with all of them.
Yeah, I ain't got bitches no more.
But now I don't care about bitches like that.
I ain't got bitches no more. I want to go back. There's this portion here that this was much more to you than some night out. And the way he said it in almost a nervous way. Like he was almost embarrassed, nervous. Well, I'm going to say embarrassed. That's the impression I first got. Looks up this girl, they go out. She takes him to a gay bar. He realizes she talks way more than I do. Well, I'm assuming it's a girl. I don't know. It might be a guy. I don't know. But I know you don't need me right now. And to you, it's just a late night out. So the impression I'm getting from this is the singer, and I'll just assume Frank Ocean, but I like to try and create a character that exists within the album or the song so that I'm not specifically talking about the artist because I don't know their personal lives, and I like to disassociate personal lives from music so that the artist can just tell a story, whatever that story is. And if it's real in their life, that's fine. And if it's just fictional, something that they want to express, then it's also fine. It's not associated to them directly. So yeah, this is basically just, he was hoping for a date, an actual date, but it wasn't really a date. And he got really nervous by it or embarrassed by it. This was, here's to the highlights when I was convinced that this was much more to you than some night shit. I know you don't need me right now, and to you it's just a late night out. That seems contradictory. Much more to you than some night shit. All the bitches in the neighborhood want to fuck. They told me. Oh, well. Okay. Interesting track. All right, let's see. It dumps into nights. I'm going to actually back up. I'm going to go back to Good Guy here. I'm going to let it dump into,
I ain't got bitches no more.
which is
Now
track
I don't care
9,
about bitches like
Nights.
that, my nigga. That shit, Jasmine fucking wrecked my heart. I don't even know how to feel about bitches.
Round your city, round the clock. Everybody needs you. No, you can't make everybody equal. Although you got buku family, you don't even got nobody being honest with you.
I know this is early to pause, but this is already an interesting verse picking up based off of the previous track and the outro that went with it. But I like these lines a lot. Everybody needs you, but you can't make everybody equal. Although you got buku family, you don't even got anybody being honest with you. Breathe until I evaporated. My whole body is see-through. These are great lines. Great lines. I'm going to back it up just a smidge here. Out of practice.
And I know it better than most people. I don't trust them anyways. You can't break the law with them. Get some good shit, have a calm night. Shooters killing left and right. Working through your worst night. Everybody needs you. Everybody needs you. Ooh, 90-90. This feel like a quaalude. No sleep in my body. Ain't no bitch in my body. New beginning.
I'm really liking the beat. There's just another good little guitar strum going in there. A nice little simple beat. And then every now and then it does that pause and then picks up again. I really like the beat to this. This is an interesting opening verse. I'm like mind locked trying to read. So it's somebody from before. I liked, where is it? Where the hell is it? You can't break the law with them. I don't trust them anyways. You can't break the law with them, which means they'll rat you out. They'll stab you in the back. You can't trust them. I could just sit here and go through. I don't want to go through this. I get so soaked into some of these lyrics and trying to figure them out. I could spend 10 minutes just staring at them and saying nothing, which makes for a very poor reaction video. But this is a great little beat. Interesting lyrics. I want to know what he's talking about. I'm definitely going to soak into this album big time over the next couple of days. That's for sure. Okay, let me back this up and then we'll resume here. I hope you guys, let me know if I guess it would be the Patreon people. I'm assuming this video is going to get fucking blocked by YouTube like every other one. But if you're enjoying my longer play sessions and just kind of listening to the music, because I feel like with this album and the sound, you really need to let it play so it can soak in. That to me, that's absolutely the impression I'm getting. This is just a slow ride, and you really let it soak in.
This feel like a quaalude. No sleep in my body. Ain't no bitch in my body. New beginnings. New beginnings. Wake up high, the sun's going down. Shut the fuck up, I don't want your conversation. Rolling marijuana, that's a cheap vacation. My everyday shit, every night shit, everyday shit.
I love that chorus because the music changes from a clear, distinct guitar lick into more of like a grind. You know, it's like if you take that guitar lick and put it in through some sort of, computer and just grind out the sound. So it's no longer clear, distinct notes, but just that sound stretched out over a period of time, just like a fucking smeared And it goes so well with these lyrics here. You know, he's just fucking... No, the boys want to see me broke down and shit, bummed out, stressed out. That's every day. Shut the fuck up. I don't want your conversation. That line really strikes with me. I feel so badly sometimes with my wife because I come home, I work 10-hour days and I'm tired. And as odd as it may seem to you guys, I don't like talking a lot. Actually, I don't know. That's not necessarily true. I enjoy talking. I enjoy conversation. What I don't like is listening to other people talk for a long time, especially when I'm not interested in that conversation. So shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your conversation. I just went, yes. Yes. I can feel that shit right there. And then rolling marijuana, that's a cheap vacation. So he's just trying to fucking, God, get some downtime somehow, some way. And I used to work night shift too. Night shift sucks, man. It's just, you're so fucking tired. And when you are awake, you're a zombie because you're not sleeping that well. And it's tough. So I really like that chorus and the music, the way the music just shifts into this like electric grind. It matches really well with what's going on in the lyrics. And there, I'm going to back that up a pretty good chunk here so we can kind of go through the chorus again.
Shut the fuck up, I don't want your conversation. Rolling marijuana, that's a cheap vacation. My everyday shit, every night shit.
And it gets deeper tone there with the synth at the end. It's just fucking every night, every day, every night, every day. Interesting change in sound here too. It's almost a little frantic. Oh wow, okay.
Every night fucks every day up. Every day patches the night up. On God, you should match it, it's that KO. No white lighters till I fuck my 28th up. Fucking on you when I didn't own a mattress. Working on a way to make it out of Texas. Every night.
It's a very distinct change in tone here. And he's telling a story, he's kind of thinking back, back in the day. And I feel obligated to pause it so that I'm not just playing straight through. But I want to, there's only 40 seconds left. Let me back this up a bit. We'll round out this verse with the outro.
On you when I didn't own a mattress. Working on a way to make it out of Texas. Every night. Baby, I've been hungry for my night shit. Yeah. You know I can hear none of that. Spend the night shit. My gosh. Wanna see Nirvana, I wanna die. Yeah. Shit every night. Shit every day. Shit every day. Shit every day. Shit every day.
That was a cool jam. That's a really easy one for me to be into. And I assume that it's more of a reflection just kind of back in the day when he was just grinding through work. And although this part where it picks up after Nights, or I'm sorry, Good Guy, and rolls into Nights, there's a lot to study here, in my opinion. I want to know more about what he's talking about, but I won't sit here and read it here. That's not that much fun to watch. Cool jam, Nights. That one has almost 400 million listens. I can see why people like it so much. I like that one quite a bit too. That was a good jam. All right, this is track 10, Solo Reprise.
So now I'm solo that I can see under the skirt of an ant. Solo that I don't get high no more when I Geronimo, I just go hand. Solo my cup is a rojo, my cholo, my friend. Solo that I can admit. When I hear that another kid is shot by the popo, it ain't an event.
Yeah,
no more. Man. Solo that no more high horses so hard to wear polo. After 20 years in, I'm so naive I was under the impression that everyone wrote their own verses. It's coming back different and yeah, that shit hurts me. I'm humming and whistling to those not deserving. I stumbled and lived every word. Was I working just way too hard?
Fucking killer, dude. That was great. That was great. There's a lot going on here. And I think I mentioned it. Did I mention it on Solo? How I thought there was a double meaning going on. He's solo, but he's also so low. Well, that pretty much fucking locks that in, doesn't it? So low. So low that I could admit when I hear that another kid is shot by the popo, it ain't even an event no more. Yep. All of these lyrics are great. I mean, I could sit here and just read them all. They're fucking great, though. Bending over backwards over half of these hoes had work done. Saying they want something from a real man. Just saying it. We'd be real persons. Man, this is killer. So pardon me if I'm being insensitive, but darling, this only worsens. Yeah. Solo, my halo, stay way low. It feels like it's bent. This is good shit. That was a really good, I mean, it was only a 70, 80 second track, but that was a great little track. And it ties in well with Solo and him being so low. That was cool. All right. Track 11 is pretty sweet.
To the edge I race, to the end I make it. All the risk I take it. Head bang with my 4 friends, we pour a taste out for the dead. This is the blood, the body, the life right now. The hype right
This
now.
is fucking wild.
Said you wanna hurt me now. You can't hurt me now. That might be what you need.
So this opening section, you know, I cut off the last couple seconds of Solo Reprise because I thought that it was over, but I don't know if there's a sound that jumps into this intro. This intro, the first thing I think of is, okay, I'm so low. I'm fucking, first he's singing about nights and the grind, and everybody wants to see him fucking depressed, and he's tired of listening to everybody talk and shit, and just leave me alone. It's every day, it's every night, it's all the same shit. Let me just smoke and take a break and be alone and do my thing. And then talk about being so low. And then we jump into this, and I like this. Headbang with my faux friends. We pour a taste out for the dead. This is the blood, the body, the life right now. The height right now might be what I need. And so I picture him. I don't know if this is true. I mean, we're just 30 seconds in. I picture him like maybe he went out. Okay, fine. We're going to fucking go out. We'll go party. I'm going to get hammered. In this sound that goes with it of him, he's just, okay, great. Now I'm hammered, but doesn't fix anything. I'm headbanging with my faux friends. We're out partying and doing all this shit. But nothing's changed. I'm still so low, but now I just feel like shit too, physically. I don't know if that's the case. I'm going to back this up just a little bit. I really want to recapture that sound so you guys can hear it and think about that. Just this messy, violent club, just drinking and I feel like shit. And yeah, I'm out partying. I'm trying like really hard to party and have fun, but I'm not having fun at all. Pretty wild sound.
That might be what you need. You wanna keep me now. Don't let me down.
This is really, really trippy. And I like it because I know there's something I do not understand. But there's this raw. This is fucking cool. One thing that's really fun about music is how you can listen to somebody for the first time and then they do something musically and you go, wow, I didn't even know that was an option. I didn't even know somebody could, first of all, come up with that idea, but then play it out and make it work and then stick it on the album and, the record company approves it and is okay with it or whatever. I mean, you have to have a lot of artistic freedom to do something like this. So tie this in with the last 2 tracks, Nights and the Solo Reprise. Actually, it starts with Good Guy. It's almost like we're in this little episode here of Good Guy, meets up with somebody. He was kind of thinking it was going to be a date, but it wasn't really a date. And then it turns into Nights, and he's talking about this person from before. And he's got all these friends, all his family, but he can't trust them. And like everybody needs you, and that whole thing. And then dropping into Solo and how depressed he is, and it just everything's gone to shit. And then you get into this, And I just picture like a rager, somebody trying to go out and party and have fun, but they're not having fun. And it's the inverse of what was intended of I wanted to go out and blow some steam, and instead no steam was released. I'm still pressurized inside. I just still feel fucking all this strain, but now physically I'm all fucked up. And it sucks when you get fucked up and you can't enjoy it. Now you just feel the physical, downside of everything instead of having fun because you're not blowing off steam for whatever reason. Let's keep going. Okay, next track is 12 Facebook stories. I'm going to let this play out here. There's only a couple seconds left here on the back end. It's pretty sweet. I want to see how it drops in.
No, I was just telling that I got this girl before, and I was together since 3 years, and I was not even cheating her or what, and Facebook arrived, and she thought that because I didn't accept her, she thought I was cheating. She told me like, it's over, I can't believe you. I said, come on, you're crazy. So, like, I'm in front of you, I'm every day here in your house, but it means like it's jealousy, pure jealousy, for nothing. Virtual thing.
I really like this because I despise social media. I really despise social media. I know that sounds strange for me to say that, given what I'm doing right now and where I'm posting these things. I know it sounds hypocritical, but I feel like Facebook, Instagram, I don't even know them all. There's something about this shit that is poisoning our society. It's poisoning people's minds for fucking whatever reason. And I'm not even talking about political opinions or all this other shit. Like, people have their opinions, that's fine. But there's just something fundamentally fucking with people's brains about social media. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I got off Facebook a couple years ago because I was watching people who I know and love and respect post some of the most vile things I've ever fucking seen. Or maybe if they're not posting them, they're liking them or what. And it's like, do I seriously have to start like disowning people in my real life because of some of the shit that they're putting on Facebook? And I was like, that's it. I got to get off social media. I hate it. This is just a track. This is just a story. I've heard of stuff like this before. I'm not saying that this is true or untrue. I don't have to. But there's a great parody video. It's these women that are together. It's a joke. It's a comedy skit type thing. And the girl meets a new guy and they're like, oh, okay, well, what's his Instagram? And like, the guy doesn't have a digital footprint at all. And so they all start freaking out because they don't even know if he's real. And she's like, well, no, I mean, I had lunch with him, but what did he eat? Oh, he had his sandwich. But did he take a picture of it? Well, no. Did he post it? No. Well, then how do we know he had lunch? And the whole thing is great parody satire of this fucking social media warped mind that has happened within people, because it's like, oh, I have to post this so people know it happened. But why? Who fucking cares if they know it happened? You were there, you know it happened. Instead of being on your, well, I don't want to rant about that. I was gonna say, instead of being on your phone all the time, but fuck that. I don't need to do that. It's just strange how some people, not all people, some people have this compulsion to just, it has to exist online. It's like they have to have a digital receipt for the events in their lives. But I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, that was a neat little track. I probably talked longer than the track did. All I'm doing, I'm just happy because I can confirm my own bias against social media. Yay! All right, track 13 is called Close to You.
I'll be honest, I wasn't devastated.
Interesting beat here. It's erratic.
Held my hand through this, baby.
Very interesting beat. Contrasting against the lyrics. Huh. That was an interesting one too, because he says, I'll be honest, I was not devastated, but you could have held my hand through this. But I disagree with that. And I think I'll click this and see what it says. Even though his lover wasn't crushed. Sad, yes, but not devastated. The music to me is a contradiction to the words. The music the music to me is erratic, and it's unstable, and it's uncomfortable, and it's kind of shaky. And I'm fine with that in terms of the sound. I'm just saying as a mechanic to the song, that's what the music represents to me. And so when he says, I'll be honest, I wasn't devastated, I don't think he's being that honest. Maybe he wasn't, and actually the annotation, okay, now I kind of agree with it. Yeah, he wasn't devastated. He was not devastated, but it had an impact on him. It bugged him. It made him unhappy. Getting older, don't have much longer. Why am I preaching to this choir, to this atheist? That's a really, really interesting line, because a choir is just going to agree with everything you say because they're the choir and they already know, and the atheist is going to refute all of it. So it's an interesting coupling of terms there. Just like mine, versions of these belong to you. After a while, they're keeping me close to you. This is cool. This is I'm surprised. Going into this album, I thought, okay, it's more of an R&B style. It's going to be all love songs and shit that I was going to have a harder time with, because, I don't know, I kind of get bored with love songs, to be honest. I like strife and emotional turmoil and overcoming things and struggling through things, and I just think it makes for more compelling music. And that has not been the case at all on this album. This album has been all those kinds of things that I'm talking about that I enjoy. There's a lot of struggle here. There's a lot of angst and happiness and hollow relationships and temporary joy, fleeting moments. This is a really fucking cool ride so far. Okay, track 4 is called White Ferrari. Track 14, White Ferrari.
On these rides, mine on the road, your dilated eyes, watch the clouds float, white Ferrari, had a good time. 16, how was I supposed to know anything? I let you out at Central. So I text the speeds, lesser speeds, Texas speed, yes. Basic takes its toll on me eventually, yes. On me eventually, yes.
God damn, dude.
I care for you still.
This is really cool. Again, he's capturing just that melancholy, that ache, that dull loss. I didn't understand this part right here. I didn't care to state the plane. And the annotations talk about the plane, the obvious. Okay, he loves that person. Doesn't bother to say it. Didn't bother to state the plane. Kept my mouth closed. We're both so familiar. Bad luck to talk on these rides. Mind on the road, your dilated eyes, watch the clouds float. So again, the impression I get from that line, I don't want to click the annotation this time, is they know it's time to kind of split ways again. I'm assuming temporarily or maybe for good. Probably temporarily, because it's on these rides, which means they've gone through this process before. And being in the military, when I was in the military, I did 2 different deployments. And man, it is fucking hard. It is hard to leave for deployment. And yeah, my wife and I didn't really talk during those rides because there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. You know, there's just, it's the beginning of 6 months of pain, 6 months of absence, everything that goes with that. 6 months of not seeing that person. You know, you're going to drop them off, and that's it. It's hard. So that line really strikes me. Bad luck to talk on these rides. Yeah. Let's keep going. I'm really, really liking the subtle sound that exists in this track so far. This guy has done a great job of capturing some of these feelings with the sound.
Yes, I home eventually, yes. I care for you still, and I will forever. That was my part of the deal. Honest, we got so familiar, spending each day of the year. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. If you think about it, you'll spend no time.
So this verse, I love that simple guitar strum that exists there. Just super simple. Spending each day of the year, good times in this life, one too many years, some tattooed eyelids on a facelift. Thought you might want to know now. Many times when someone gets a facelift, his or her eyes will appear to be perpetually open, okay? And thus his or her eyelids will never be seen, okay? If you get tattoos on your eyelids after facelift, it is likely no one will see those tattoos. So one too many years, some tattooed eyes on a facelift. I got to dig into that one more. That's an interesting line. I just don't quite get it. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. If you think about it, it'll be over in no time, and that's life. I'm gonna sit down and read these lyrics. These are good lyrics, but I don't fully get them. But I like that there just seems to be a lot of emotional ties embedded within them. And so even though I don't fully understand them right now, for some reason there's just a way, I don't know if it's the way he's singing it or if it's the music that's tied with it, if it's just the tone of the song all tied in together, it just works. It works really well. We got so familiar, spending each day of the year, good times. I care for you still and will forever. That was part of my deal. This is a cool jam. This might be my favorite jam so far. White Ferrari's fucking killing it right now.
If you think about it, you'll spend no time.
You know, the end of that little bit right there too is very obviously very quiet, sullen type of song. But that end part, if you think about it, it'll be over in no time. And he's got all these voices, and it's almost like he's screaming out that he's upset that it's over in no time. And that's life. And it is life, but it doesn't mean he has to like it. You know, like, why does this have to be over? It's already over. Why is it over already? I don't like that. But there's nothing you can do about it. Life just keeps going. It's not going to stop. It's not going to wait. It just keeps going. And so eventually that rage and that fury kind of dies off as you accept the fact that, yep, it just keeps going. And that's life. That is life. Oh, here we go.
I'm sure we're taller in another dimension. You say we're small and not worth the mention. We dream of walls that hold us in prison. It's just a skull, at least that's what they call it, and we're free to roam.
This is incredibly, incredibly interesting. I'm really enjoying how patient Frank Ocean is. This is a very patient album. He's just we're gonna play in a very specific way, and we're gonna let it all roll out. We're not in a hurry. Every little bit, every little drop of sound is just we're gonna let it flow through. I'm sure we're taller in another dimension. You say we're small and not worth the mention. So I take that to mean he feels like their relationship is bigger than she does. She's trying to play it down. Like, no, we're not. This isn't that big of a thing. You're tired of moving. Your body's aching. We could vacate. Clearly this isn't all that there is. Can't take what's been given. But we're so okay here. We're doing fine. Primal and naked. Your dream of walls that hold us in prison. Or you dream of walls that hold us in prison. It was fucking killer, man. And this is a long annotation. Okay, I'm not going to look at that one. This is neat. You know, music like this is so fun because I guarantee you, anybody who's watching this video and hearing this song and maybe looking at the lyrics in a little bit more detail for the first time, whether you have or not, I guarantee you everybody has a different feel for this song. And everybody who enjoys this song, it fits in a very specific spot that will be different from everybody else. So this song, this is a great example of what is so magical about music. Is it all exists on the same kind of vibe, the same wavelength. And I think anybody who likes this song can get on board with the general idea, but it's all going to be an individual experience for each listener. It's so fucking cool. I think White Ferrari is going to be my favorite. I think so. It's so simple and so clean, but it's almost rich in that sense because it's so simple and so clean, and you can exist within the song. And there's a lot of just feel to the way he's singing it. And I love the end. Well, not the end here, but when that breaks out of that third verse and he's talking about, if you think about it, it'll be over in no time, and that's life. And it kind of gets a little loud and chaotic because he's just furious with that. That's the impression I get. Cool ride. Okay, track 15 is Seigfried. Again, just great little echoey sounds, subtle sounds.
The markings on your surface, your speckled face, flawed crystals hang from your ears.
Flawed crystals hang from your ears.
I'm not brave. I'm not brave.
There's this line here, flawed crystals hang from your ears. I couldn't gauge your fears. I can't relate to my peers. I'd rather live outside. I'd rather chip my pride than lose my mind. Couldn't gauge your fears. I can't relate to my peers. So I take that as a sense of he can't really connect with anybody that he probably feels he should be able to connect to. And because of that, I'd rather live outside. But this line, I'd rather chip my pride than lose my mind. After making a possible reference to a male lover, the song retreats from that failed romance to Frank's problems with intimacy in general. Okay, sure. I can't relate to... Oh, that makes the line, I can't relate to my peers, make more sense. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I should move and settle. 2 kids and swim. So maybe in this term of struggling with his sexuality, maybe I'm a fool for struggling with that. Maybe I should just move and settle and have 2 kids in a swimming pool, do what I'm supposed to do instead of struggling with these feelings that he's having. I'm not brave. Huh. Yeah. This is a fucking cool album, you guys. I'm so glad you recommended it. I'm so glad you guys kept saying over and over and over, listen to this album. I know you're right to worry that I would not enjoy it, but I'm glad I've listened to the music I have. I'll talk about that at the end here. I don't want to get into it now.
I'm not brave.
The subtle sounds are just so great.
I'm living over city and taking in the homeless sometimes. Been living in an idea from another man's mind.
I'm pausing it. I hate to pause in the middle of the verse, but right now with the sound that he's put into this song, he talks about how he's living in the city. I'm living over city. I'm just picturing somebody who's going for a walk, kind of head down, hands in their pockets, just walking, and not really paying attention. They're not going anywhere. They're just walking, and they have so much thought swirling in their head that it's like they're not even there. It's almost an out-of-body experience because there's just so much thought and wonder and spinning an idea around and around and around and trying to find some sort of solution to whatever it is that's causing this kind of mental strain, this mental torment. It's almost like a mental hamster wheel and just running and running. That's what I'm picturing with this sound, is somebody going on a walk. And even the way he's singing too, the vocals, just somebody just out. No, it's just a mindless body. The mind is floating up and the body is walking, and there's just a light tether that exists between the two.
Maybe I'm a fool.
I like even that the bass is muted
For a
too.
place with some nice views. Maybe I should move, settle down. 2 kids in a swimming pool. It's not what I'm like. It's just a fond farewell.
This is great. This is great. I like here, he's mentioning a couple times how he's not brave, and then it shouts in brave, I'm not brave, at the end of verse 1. And he's still struggling with this. I'm not brave. I'd rather live outside, or rather live outside. I think this is still just well, I don't want to fuck. It's hard. Reading the annotation sometimes helps, and sometimes it completely derails my train of thought. But what's cool here is this bridge. This is not my life. It's just a fond farewell to a friend. So he's saying this over and over. It's not my life, just a farewell. And so if this is still his struggle with sexuality, it's almost like him struggling with, no. It's just, this is not who I am. What this is, it's not what you think it is. It's just something where a fond farewell to a friend. But then at the end, it says brave, which to me means he's close. He's close to embracing this thing and getting rid of this notion of it's not my life. It's not. It's just a fond farewell. No. Be brave. Take it further. Let it be what it actually is, instead of dismissing it and saying this is not my life. It's just a fond farewell. That's what I get on the first listen. This is great. This is an interesting track too, Seigfried. Back it up a little bit. Back it up.
It's just a fond farewell. Speaking of Nirvana, it was there. I be dreaming a thought that could dream about a thought that could think of dreaming a dream where I cannot.
So that whole bit to me is just he's completely struggling with this idea. He can't, it won't materialize in his mind. He just can't get a finger hold on what is spinning around inside of his head. It's there. He knows something is there, but it won't coalesce. It won't come together. And is that just the worst? I've had that before. It's just the worst, man. You know something's there. And so often somebody will say something that's very simple, and you go, fucking, yeah, that's what it was. You almost need somebody else to just cut all the noise out and get to that seed, the soul of what that idea is, and go, this is what you're thinking of. Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out to me.
Less morose and more present. Dwell on my gifts for a second. A moment. One solar flare would consume, so why not for you in the dark.
This is awesome, man. This is a great, great struggle.
I do for you in the dark.
I do anything for you in the dark. I won't do it out in the open. I won't do it where anybody can see. I won't let me be who I actually am, but I'll do anything for you in the dark. And that subtle, subtle sound that goes with this is fantastic. It's almost apologetic, almost embarrassed. I'll only do it in the dark. And he's like ashamed, you know? Too ashamed to do it out in the open, and ashamed to admit he'll do it in the dark. Because it should be out in the open. Because he'd do anything, because the feelings and the emotions that exist with this are real. What a struggle. Killer track. That was a good one. Not my favorite. I think White Ferrari is going to be my favorite, but that was great. Okay, track 16 is Godspeed. Again, great, subtle, minimal sounds. He's captured this tone throughout the album so well.
I will always love you how I do. I let go of my claim on you. It's a free world. You look down on where you came from sometimes, but you'll have this place to call on always.
Just pausing for the sake of actually reacting to the music instead of sitting here listening to it, which is extremely easy to do. Very straightforward lyrics. Yeah, I mean, this is a great little love letter right here. I especially like the line, you know, there will be mountains you won't move. So you're going to go out, you're an incredible person, you're going to do things, wishing you Godspeed, but there will be mountains you won't move. And I'll always be here for you, or there for you. So that's cool that there's a mention of when you have hard times, I'm still there for you. I like that. I really like that. You know, so often it's, oh, you're going to be great and amazing, you can do whatever you want, and blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Even the most incredible people struggle, so it's okay. It's okay. I let go of my claim on you. It's a free world. Oh, no. How I do. Oh, no. Okay, I got a little mixed up there with the lyrics. I like that line too, though. I let go of my claim on you. It's a free world. So, we've always heard the saying, let love go, and if it's true, it'll come back to you. I mean, that's nice on postcards and shit. But sometimes in life, that's how it goes. You gotta let it go. And that's just all that. You can't force love. You can't. It just doesn't work that way. So good for Frank Ocean, or the character in this album that Frank is singing about, of saying, I let go. Not easy. Obviously, there's some sorrow here. This is almost like a funeral style sound. Almost a memorial. But this is cool, man. This is fucking cool. Let's keep going. There's only a minute left on this one. So I wonder now, sometimes with these streaming albums, they throw extra stuff on. To me, this feels like the end of the album. That's a great way to end the album. That's where I would end the album. There's one more track, which is 9 minutes long. I find that to be unlikely that it's the end of the album. It's Futura free. I'm going to check it out. But I feel like I'm going to mark in my mind as this is probably the end of the album. I'm going to assume that this other track is kind of an additional track that got put on via the streaming service here. Okay, 17, Futura free. This one is 9.5 minutes long. It should only take me about an hour to get through it, so don't worry.
If I was being honest, I say long as I can fuck 3 times a day and not skip a meal, I'm good. I used to work on my feet for $7 an hour. Call my mama like, mama, I ain't making minimum wage, mama. Fuck these niggas, they don't want nothing. Fuck these niggas. Fuck you niggas. Fuck me if I hated on you.
I like this opening portion. Specifically this whole I should be paying them. It's therapy. Playing these songs is therapy. I should be paying them. That makes me so happy because I love an artist who can take his personal struggle, his or her personal struggle, and whatever it is, and dump it into the process that is music and have something amazing come out on the other end and then grow as a person while doing so. I think that's fucking incredible. It is the power of music. And when they do that, not only does it help them, but they end up usually making a really incredible song in the process, which then helps other people work through their shit too. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Let's keep going.
I'ma stick around. I'm gonna let my nuts hang. Nigga, you got some just like me, don't you? Or maybe not just like me. You know I'm Africano-Americano. And even if you have Japanese roots, run deep, family tree, throw a big shadow.
It's really interesting to me that there's this kind of grinding electronic sound in the background.
I keep quiet and let you run your phone bill up.
Well, it took a turn there, didn't it?
I ain't on your schedule. I ain't on no schedule. Finna wipe that off. Tolerance is so low. Still smoke a whole gauge. Menage on my birthday. Tap out on the first row. This ain't no.
This is a cool jam in that he's just kind of going through his life and, you know, some reflection and shit like that. But it was interesting that he had all that chaotic sound going on. This little bit about they're trying to find Tupac, don't let him find Tupac. He evaded the press. He escaped the stress. I didn't know that there were people who thought Tupac was still alive. I guess there were people that thought Elvis was still alive for a long time, so why not Tupac as well, huh? But this is a cool jam, and I know I paused it here as it was kind of picking up some speed, so let's back it up just a bit. But I like that he references Tyler, slept on his couch. I'm assuming that's Tyler, the creator. Yep, right there. That's cool. I didn't know they were friends. Has Frank Ocean been on some of Tyler's stuff? Probably. Maybe that's why I started seeing recommendations so much, because I was listening to so much Tyler in the beginning. Anyway, let's keep going.
Niggas go back that far. I ain't smoked all yet. This the last song, so I'm finna wipe that off.
And there's some sound in the background.
Still smoke a whole gauge. Menage on my birthday.
I can't pick up what it was.
Tap out on the first row. This ain't no work day. She don't give head anyway.
There's this really interesting background sound, this noise, this voice. And I'm really starting to wonder, because Tyler's has had so many songs referencing, you know, falling in love with somebody else who was in a relationship, and in this track, or I'm not sorry, this album has made some references to struggling with sexuality and stuff like that. I wonder if these guys, you know, maybe had a thing going on, Tyler and Frank. I have no idea. That's just a guess, a wild guess. It's interesting that there's this background voice. I can't quite make it out, but it kind of sounds like a distorted Tyler voice from one of his songs. I don't know.
No, shout out to Hollywood. I'm from that 7th though. Twins no and Lance no. Fuck no and Matt no.
Shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to this outro. I'm gonna stop here. I'll end up getting kind of bored, and when I get bored, my brain shuts off, and then I don't pay attention, and then it's a waste of time. Cool ride. Very cool ride. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I think one reason why I was able to enjoy it so much is because I have spent a lot of time listening to Radiohead, and I feel like there's a lot of I don't want to say similarities, but there's some parallels that exist in this sound on this album to some of the stuff that Radiohead has done. Not trying to say Frank has copied them or anything like that. I'm just saying similarities exist. I hear it. It's pretty cool. I like how patient the album is. I like how subtle and how minimal some of the sound is. He's got a great voice. His voice has some range too. You know, there's sometimes it was kind of those first couple of opening tracks where it's like almost has a dull ache in his sound. It's kind of filtered and flat and like shallow. I don't want to say shallow, but the tone in his voice is matching the tone of the lyrics and what he's singing about. That whole stretch through Good Guy, Nights, Solo, Reprise, pretty sweet. That was an interesting little like chapter within a chapter. You know, it was a section within the album where it's almost like a little storyline that existed. It was cool. Solo was a cool track. Pink and White was great. Ivy was good. I think White Ferrari is my favorite. I think White Ferrari, especially since just that concept of driving with somebody to drop them off, knowing that you're saying goodbye, and then my remembering, you know, mentioning deployments, being in the Navy and that shit. So there was a personal tone that struck with me on that one, being there, having done something like that. This was a great album, you guys. This is a great album. I really look forward to listening to it more and reading some of these lyrics and trying to dig into some of these almost like hidden messages. I say the word esoteric because that's what it is to me. There's a lot of stuff that he's saying that isn't clear in terms of what he means, but that's what makes it so fun. Because when it isn't clear, you have so much room as a listener, you and I both, to lay in your own interpretation. And he's done such a great job with the tone of the music and the sounds and his voice and how calm and how everything plays out, that you can let yourself get emotionally invested into what you're hearing. And then whatever is in your life that exists within this vein, the song plays right to it. It plays right to it. It's fantastic. It's also this, what a departure coming to something like this from Late Registration, where Late Registration is up and it's happy and it's got a lot of sound and great beats and just all this stuff going on. And this is a big departure from that. But that's good. That's good for me. That's good for my journey into hip hop and exploring and having my mind open up more to this music. So I'm really, really glad you guys recommended this. I'm really glad I listened to it. This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It helps that I do enjoy ambient music. It does help that I listen to calmer, weirder techno stuff. You know, Daughter, Grammar, or not Grammar, London Grammar. What was the other one? Halos, I think, was one. Radiohead is similar. There's some bands that exist kind of in this area of music. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I was worried. I was a little worried. I was like, man, if it's going to be a love thing, and I don't know if I'll be into it. But in terms of a love story, in terms of R&B, this was great. I think it really was great because another thing I have a problem with R&B and these really, really, I call them sappy love songs, I just feel like they're unrealistic. You know, it's anytime somebody tells me, oh, I'm so super in love and it's the best thing ever and blah, 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 I just go, I think to myself, well, give it a couple of weeks, you know? Just give it time. That'll change, you know, the whole thing that we've heard in the honeymoon period where, oh, it's just so wonderful. It's like, yeah, that's nice that you think that. It'll change. It'll change. This album doesn't do that. This album fully embraces the love, the struggle, the pain, the emptiness, the longing, the joy. I mean, it covers the whole gamut of emotions. And I really appreciate the fact that Frank Ocean took the time to do that. You know, and he doesn't really dwell on stuff too much. Maybe it is a bit of a darker album, I think. But with somebody who's clearly struggling with their emotions, or like in some of these tracks, the annotations talking about he's struggling with his sexuality. That's a real struggle. It's a real struggle. And so you got to incorporate that into the music. Otherwise, it becomes really one-sided, one way or the other. And it just doesn't seem real. You know, this to me seems very real, very genuine, and I love that. I appreciate the shit out of that. 2 hours and 10 minutes for a 1 hour album. That will get blocked on YouTube. It's okay. Patrons, you get the whole fucking thing. Fantastic. I'm to the point where I'll be repeating myself. Loved it. I loved it. This was a great album. I'm going to listen to this quite a bit over the next couple of days. I look forward to hopefully finding new things and having something interesting to say on the additional thoughts video. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Great album. Cheers.